Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I have heard from people behind the scenes that, of course, want to be basically nameless in this video, but I've seen it in other places that aren't nefarious. There are people who look at the Battlegrounds milestones, of which I've gained over 200,000 points. And look, I have said it honestly on this channel before. I'll say it again. I was a proud point farmer in Platinum 1 and Platinum 2 for several seasons. I believed it was all beneficial to everybody. It was beneficial for me to be able to get some easy points. It was beneficial to the people that had BS matched up against me that Kabam gave no chance to, that I could force quit or not win against by just not trying. That could get, I got several accounts who were like Cavalier or were matched up against my roster to the next tier of their progression, because there'd be one away, There'd be one away, and they'd match up against me, and they would have had no chance. Some of these players have 4 stars as their best Battlegrounds deck. And so I didn't view it as cheating. I viewed it as the ability to do what's within the game rules to help out weaker players and also give myself some stress-free Battlegrounds weeks. And I love Battlegrounds when it's stress-free. Now, my roster has gotten even better in the past month. It is absolutely stacked, to the point that this is not going to be something that you probably ever see again on my roster. But look at the last matches that I fought, including the latest one against this guy, who I'm sure is a good player, But he just looked at my roster with his rank 4s and said, screw it. I'm still amazed, though. I didn't know you could ascend a rank 4 champion. And so part of me is confused about that, but they've got him. Anyhow, bunch of rank 4s against obviously a bunch of rank 5s. Not fair at all. So he forfeited. I have won more matches in a row than I ever would before, and it's actually been a first world problem because I have 8,860 Elders marks, and I can't even claim the 2 rewards in my overflow because it would put me above the 9,000 mark and it would waste the Elders marks. So in a way, it's almost like I'm waiting to lose, and I'm sure I'll be matched up against people who eventually clean my clock. But right now, it's just the unfair matching system. That unfair matching system is what we're going to spend the majority of time talking about today, because on both sides, you have people who feel like it's so unfair that they are tempted or willing to cheat their way through content. Now, I'm not endorsing that by any means, but that is their thought process. And Kabam, including Kabam Jax, looked directly into that webcam on Friday and said, "We are coming after you." And these cheaters, especially those of you who I've heard, they're like, well, I may not force quit anymore, but I'm going to intentionally lose matches to worse opponents for weeks and get myself to 300 or 400,000 solo points for my alliance and for myself, and then go up. And they're still technically doing it within the rules. This is not piloting. This is not using some kind of third-party software to hack the game. This is just taking the rules, but they're calling Kabam on their bluff. And we will see. Kabam has apparently banned over 1,000 accounts in the past week. That's what Kabam Jax said, but let's see what the MCOC team said officially. For Everest content, in the lead up to the release of our first piece of long-form Everest content in over 3 years, the anti-cheat team has been busily improving our mod detection algorithms, using Eternity of Pain and the Abyss as testing grounds. We have made substantial progress. Earlier today, we banned over 2,000 accounts. They said 1,000 on the broadcast, I believe, that were detected cheating in these modes by these new systems. Now, it doesn't say whether or not they're temporary or permanent bans, and that is a big difference. The lessons we learned are being applied to Necropolis, which is the first piece of content we have ever released with an integrated anti-cheat program in place before the launch. We warned, or be warned, modding in Necropolis will be met with an immediate, permanent ban. regardless of your account's history of fair play or any other factor. Wow. Moreover, those wanting to compete for the limited vanity prizes that will be awarded for the first 10 summoners brave enough to explore the content will be required to record their runs and post them to YouTube or another streaming service for us to review at our discretion. For more information about this, you can tune into our live stream this Friday, which of course was already in the past at the time of recording this. Battlegrounds, there's been an uptick in cheating this Battleground season. After reviewing the data, we believe this is the result of us opening this mode up to summoners at the Conqueror progression milestone, which makes it easier for cheaters to spin up new accounts and get them into Battlegrounds. To address this, we have started running our detection algorithms more frequently, hoping that these accounts will negatively impact fewer summoners before they are banned. We will continue to monitor as the season progresses. And on point farming. Summoners have requested more specific information about the point farming behavior we have prohibited in Battlegrounds, so we will try to be as explicit as possible. The behavior we are looking to prevent is deliberately losing matches to avoid progressing in the victory track in order to farm accounts at lower rungs on the victory track ladder. There has been substantial skepticism that we can identify this behavior from other forms of losing. Of course, we do not have a crystal ball. What we do, however, have is data on millions of Battlegrounds matches played every season, and the play pattern of summoners engaging in this behavior is unique. Things that won't get your account banned or flagged for action include being bad at the mode and losing a lot, going on long winning or losing streaks, legitimately getting stuck in a victory track rank regardless of the pattern of wins and losses, queuing into matches and setting your phone down in order to complete the bi-daily objectives. We do not necessarily endorse this behavior, but we are not investigating it at this time. Queuing into matches and setting your phone down in order to farm event points while losing, unless it is done strategically. So this won't get your account flagged. Queuing into matches and setting your phone down in order to farm event points while losing, unless it is done strategically to avoid progressing. We do not necessarily endorse this behavior, but we're not investigating. I mean, that's what people are doing. I mean, that's the number one strategy. Not force quitting, but just not trying. I've seen several screenshots that I haven't made a video into because I'm not trying to, dox anybody, but of people that tie because both people set their phones down at the beginning of the fight and both get the same points, which I think was 0. Farming event points in a similar way in the Gladiator Circuit, we do not necessarily endorse the behavior, but are not investigating at this time. So Gladiator Circuit, they're not caring about it at all. It's just a victory track. And deliberately losing 1 or 2 matches on occasion to manage Elders, mark caps, or otherwise optimize your play. So 1 or 2 matches is not a red flag. It's sort of like when you go over the speed limit driving, but you're like 3 miles an hour over instead of 13. Things that won't evade our detection algorithms. Entering matches with weaker decks. Pausing to make your losing matches longer. Trying to fake effort while trying to lose. That's interesting. Any other form of manipulating your fight data. Losing a bunch of matches in a row at 0 medals in order to skew the data. Losing with medals below the threshold that would actually promote you. To this point, we have only taken action against a handful of accounts. As more data comes in, we intend to widen the net. The team is hand-reviewing data this season to make sure we get it right. We guarantee no innocent summoners will be caught in the net. If you are not engaging in specific behavior spelled out above, you have no need for concern. Finally, as with any game on Earth, there is an arbiter who sets the rules of fair play. In the case of Marvel Contest of Champions, that arbiter is us, just because the system in the game allows a player to engage in a behavior. It does not mean it is within the bounds of the rules we have set, including the Code of Conduct. So thank you, Kabam. We have Real Deal X for Realm of Legends, HQ Sean for Labyrinth. Sorry for the person who got Abyss 100% first, but who will be the number 1 Necropolis? Won't be me. Colossal W, being bad at the mode and losing a lot. Woo, I'm safe. Wasn't seating first and this, blah, blah. So, y'all, I can't tell you what's going to happen, but the threats to permanent bans are real. We'll see who gets them. Don't get them yourself. That is my advice. Thanks for watching.